Next, we can see the methods of developing an algorithm. So algorithm, we all know that it's used for solving the problem. So the first step is define the problem. So first we have to define the problem. For example, if a simple problem we can consider, I want to add two numbers. So that is the definition of the problem, adding two numbers. Then the next thing is list the inputs and outputs. For adding two numbers, I had to identify what is the input. Input will be two numbers and the output is their sum. So first I have to identify the input and output. Then describe the steps to convert these inputs into outputs. Then from these inputs, what all steps I have to get to reach the output. Those steps I had to write it as step 1, step 2, step 3, like that. So mainly for developing an algorithm, the main thing is first define the problem, then identify the inputs and outputs, then describe the steps from input how I will reach the output. After writing the algorithm, just test the algorithm whether it is correct. So one example it is given here, algorithm to find whether a given number is odd or even. So this is the problem. Check whether a given number is odd or even. So first I have to, the problem is defined and then I have to identify the input. What is the input here? A number. A number is the input and the output will be odd or even. This message should be the output. So how I will reach from input number to this output. So how to check whether a number is odd or even, how to identify. So that method we know, if we divide a number by 2, then if the remainder is 0, then the number is an even number. If the remainder is 1, not equal to 0, if the remainder is not equal to 0, then it is an odd number. So in the steps we'll write that step 1, start. So step 1, we had to list down the steps, step 1, step 2, step 3 and step 4. So step 1 is start, then read or input n. Then next step, if n mod 2, percentage symbol is read as mod. Percentage symbol gives the remainder. n/2 means it gives the quotient. n percentage 2, that will give the remainder of the division. So n percentage 2, if the remainder equal to 0, then print or write even number, else write odd number, then stop. So this is the algorithm for a small program, small problem, that is given a number, check whether it is odd or even. So we have to list out the steps. First step should be start and the last step should be stop. Now coming to the flowchart. Flowchart is a pictorial representation of an algorithm. We can also identify if we are seeing some writing, instead of reading the text, if it is a picture, we can more understand it more. That is, visual understanding is more compared to the reading and understanding. So visually, if we represent something, it will be, we can understand it easily. So same algorithm, we can represent it in a pictorial, as a pictorial representation, which is known as flowchart. Now we can see what are the symbols used in flowchart. So the first symbol here is the oval symbol that is used for start and stop. Then this arrows are used for showing the connection. Then input and output, that is given in a parallelogram. Then this rectangle is used for some calculations. If any calculation, we can write it inside the rectangle. Then if there is a decision making, such as if this condition is true, such decision making will be using the diamond symbol. So these are the symbols used in a flowchart. Using these symbols, we can see one example of drawing a flowchart. Same example, flowchart to find whether a given number is odd or even. So here, the start we will write in the oval. Start and stop also we will write in the oval. Then first what thing we have to do is we have to input a number. First thing, there should be an input to the program, mainly input, processing and output. So the input here is n. So read n. Then what we have to check one condition, that is n percentage 2 equal to 0. That is n. If we divide n by 2, whether the remainder is 0. So that is a condition checking. So it will be given in diamond symbol. If it is true, our output is even number. So that output we will give in parallelogram. If it is false, the output is an odd number, that also will give in parallelogram. And after that, both will come to the stop. So this is an example of a flow chart. So now we can see another example also using, if we want to continuously do something, how we will do that one using another example. So see this algorithm. Write an algorithm and draw the flow chart to find the factorial of a number. So before seeing this algorithm, we all are knowing what is meant by a factorial. For example, n factorial, 5 factorial. What is meant by factorial? Till that number, from starting from 1, all the numbers, the product of all the numbers till that number. For example, 5 factorial means 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That is 1 to 5, all numbers product is the factorial. N factorial means what? 1 into 2 into 3 into etc. up to n. That multiplication is the factorial. So here we have to write the algorithm. So here what is the input? N is the input and the output should be the factorial. For example, if 5 is my input, the output should be 5 factorial, that which is 120. So input and output is clear. Now we have to do, what we have to do here is, we have to do the multiplication. But the multiplication has to be repeated. If we start from 1 till n, we have to do the multiplication. So repeated things we have to write. So here see, first start, then read n, input n, then one, whether n has reached, we have to check. So we have keeping a counter variable I. First, so to keep the count, whether we have reached the I, whether we have reached n. So initializing the counter variable to 1 and then initializing the variable fact also to 1. In the fact, we will keep the answer. Then the next step, if I less than or equal to n, go to step 5. I less than or equal to n means we have not reached the n value. So what we have to do, calculate fact equal to fact into I. Otherwise, go to step 7. If I equal to n means it's over, so we'll go to step 7. Then after see the step 6, increment counter variable I and go to step 4. Counter variable, so I value, if considering one example, it will be more clear. Read n, suppose n equal to 5. So 5 factorial we have to find out. Initialize counter variable. First the counter variable I am initializing it to I equal to 1. And the factorial value, we didn't get the answer, so initialize the value as 1. Then if I less than or equal to n, now I value is 1, n value is 5. So I is less than 5. So go to step 5. And what we have to find, fact equal to fact into I, which means 1 into 1. So we'll get the fact equal to 1. Then increment counter variable I. So I value is getting incremented. Earlier it was 1, now it becomes 2. Then go to step 4 again. Then again I value is 2, 2 less than or equal to 5. Then go to step 5 again. Fact equal to fact into I, which means fact is 1, 1 into I value is now 2, 1 into 2. So repeatedly we will be doing this, and at last we will get, when I equal to n, then we will get the factorial of that number. Then in step 7, write the output fact. Then in step 8, stop. So this is how we'll write the algorithm. Same thing you can represent in a flowchart. So in flowchart, if you see, the start will be in an oval, and then input number, that read n, will give in a parallelogram. Then I equal to 1 and fact equal to 1. These are assignments, so we will give those in rectangle. Then we'll check the condition, I less than or equal to n. Condition checking, decision making will give in a this diamond symbol. And then if the condition is true, what to do? If the condition is false, what to do? If the condition is true, we had to, that is I is less than or equal to n, we had to find the fact equal to fact into I. Then I equal to I plus 1. These two steps we had to repeatedly do. Which one? Fact equal to fact into I, and then I equal to I plus 1. Then again checking I less than or equal to n. Once I becomes n, then write the fact as the output. So this is the flow chart for the same algorithm.